Praise the Lord. This is a day that the Lord has created for us, that we may be glad and happy in it, and we may also get advancements in everything that we do in this life, because God has given us the power and God has given us the knowledge, the intent, and the wisdom to pursue for all what we need in this life. And because of that, I'll always say that it is always good for us to be grateful to God and seek His guidance and His advice, because He is a never living God. He is God full of power and mercy, and His mercies endureth forever. Uh, my name is Leverett Joseph, and I'm here to share a little of the thought, and especially concerning our country, Kenya, and also in the global concept, and also in what we can call the African concept. We are so fortunate to be in the tropicals. We are so fortunate to be at the equator. We are so fortunate to have good weather that God has given to us that is so much favorable for us to do any kind of economic activity. We are so fortunate to have rivers, forests, arable land, and part of the desert, which is also an added advantage. And also, we are very, very fortunate to have natural resources that can be harnessed to be able to build our economic platforms. We have the wild animals too, which attracts tourism, and we have so many things that we can use for income generation, especially for the building up of our country's economy, county's economy, so on and so forth. We are fortunate to be not a landlocked country. We have the Indian Ocean that touches our borders in the coast, that we can deal with what we call blue economy. And also we have the seas. No, we have also the lakes, and also we have rivers, we have dams, all kind of source of water bodies that can be very resourceful in building our economies. More so, we have what we call the human resource. In the human resource, we have highly educated citizens of Kenya, the Gen Zs, the young generations, the middle class generations, the old clique of generations. We have what we call the top creams in this country. People who can give the right advice and people who can give their insight freely, and also even if it is at a charge, whatever they give would be very, very, very beneficial. It is also understandable that some of the world countries come to get researches that are done in our universities. Nairobi University, Moi University, Egerton University, and several other colleges in Kenya, which they go to implement to be able to build their economies. Whereas the same ideas are lying in the libraries of those institutions. In this kind of a know-how, I'm sure our country, if it can be managed in the right way, without bad politics, because politics are not bad, but they are bad politics, the bad form of politics, which are full of selfishness, which are full of greed, which are full of discrimination, which are ethnical, and so on. These are the politics that destroy uh, the mobilization of our resources. And if the resources can be managed, we have leaders who are good managers of the resources. I'm sure we can have everything for everyone in this country, and we can build our citizens from the dust to a better position where everybody can feel he or she is very comfortable in kind of living that a livelihood that he is leading, because he has something in the pocket, He has money and he has resources. He have capability to mobilize the resources. No wonder that is why you see find many Kenyans seeking for loans in the financial institutions, and few of them get it because of saving culture, because of their credit worthiness, and because of such things. One of the challenging things is that most of the Kenyans have never attracted loans or credit because they had or they have no information about it. And when they go to get the credit, their credit worthiness, when it is tested, they are never found to have any credit, so they are not in a position to secure the credit or the loans to advance on their ideas. We have very clear financing for ideation, all ideas, where people come up with their business plans, they come up with their proposals on the proposed projects they want to carry or the proposed businesses they want to initiate. And because of not having gotten any credit somewhere else, they are not able to be financed for their ideation. Meaning, great ideas are hidden under the carpet. And we need to have leaders who realize that we need to finance on the ideations. We need mentorship on those people who have ideas. Let us learn their patenting process, show them their patenting process, the copywriting, and so on. Fund them so that the ideas can work. Because without financing of the ideations, then we'll remain in the same cycle of the economic earners of this nation, and therefore we might end up exhausting our resource base and also exhausting our techniques in earning the economic welfare. And that is how the country will become poorer and poorer. You see now, because of not having new inventions, because ideations are not funded, the country can resort only to going back to taxing its own citizens highly in the idea or in the sense of borrowing from the local community, from the local banks, and so on. And the interest rate of the banks now raises up, leaving some community in a position that they cannot be able to access the credit, they cannot be able to access the financing, and will create a large number of poor citizens in the country. And therefore, because the production will be low than the consumption, then what will happen? The country will end up becoming poorer because lack of production, when the production is low, the country will resort to importation of resources, of finished products, of ideas, and so on. So it will result in buying more, it will result in spending more in the import, and therefore no circulation of the cash, no circulation of the resources or of the monetary resources within the community. And the little they have, it will be ever be taken by the government in the payment of taxes, where individuals will pay taxes, and then the government will be able to be paying those debts. And in the final result, the country will continue getting more debt, more debt, more debt because it is not producing. It is only importing. More importation will continue to happen, and the country will become more poorer. It will not be in a position also to pay those debts that it is incurring. And this puts the country into a blink end. To avoid this, the leaders should now start low by getting the community on the ground and letting them express their ideas and have their ideas supported. The country may find that it is good to support these ideas barely for only 2 years. They will spend more only for 2 years, But when these ideas will start now producing the results will increase and become greater and greater and greater. And then the economies will grow into a mammoth. And now meaning a spillover to the national economic growth. And by the end of that, the country will become wealthier, richer, and have the resource base. And the circulation of the cash or the resources will be within the citizens. Now, the citizens can be able now to develop even mega ideas because they will have the financing and the supporting that is brought about by the production. If I give a good example, and I know the owner of this business will not take me to the owners of these businesses are not going to take me to they are not good go for my neck. If I give an example of Kerache breweries, an example of nice rice mirrors, an example of the Raha Premium uh, in Kirinyaga, the nice mirrors and premium Raha Premium in Kirinyaga, Keroche is in Naivasha. If I give those kind of ideas, and you see, they started from a small kind of business, and now they are mega businesses. These mega businesses have created a lot of employment for young people, not only for young people, for citizens, in short, for citizens of Kenya, uh, and several other. We have several other examples. I've just chosen only those few, and not because I'm biased or not because I know the owners, no, but because I'm giving an example into that. Uh, well, if you see the production of Karachi, for example, and it became a competitor to the Kenya breweries or East African breweries, you find that they have created their own niche, their own ideation, their own idea, their own production system, the plant, and so on. And this has become very, very unique in that area. If you go to the Raha Premium company, if you go also to Moya Rice Mirrors, the same, you find they have different ideas that are being brought together, forming a supermarket of ideas or a hypermarket of the ideas. And these ideas have created a lot of job. These were normal people who have are struggling in life also. They have some ideas along their way. Somehow they got some people who believed in them and financed the ideas that they had and grew together with them. Some banks realized that this can become a very good idea. They grew together with them economically until now. These people have become a mega economic plans that they have increased also the margin of the banks that partnered with them. You see, the banks now they also benefit from the kind of businesses because they deposit their money there. They can use their money to lend to others. They can also use that money to do some businesses, and also they can also lend back to them, and they can make more interest. So both the banks and the businesses grow. They have formed a niche, they have formed a partnership, they have formed a clique of ideas that are very unique. That this bank is financing those ideas, and those ideas brings back to the businesses that have grown, and also back to the bank, and also the circulation of the resources to the workers and their families within those perimeters of locality of the businesses. This is what is so much important. And when in the third government of the late President Mwai Kibaki came up with an idea of buy Kenya and build Kenya, the ideation was to finance the smaller businesses that the people are coming up with to let them grow to become major businesses. If you take, for an example, the international KFC outlets markets, this began, the founder historically is known to begin by only offering one chicken to a certain person. And this person now realized that this can be a very good idea, and he supported this owner. And now we have the fruit of these businesses all over the world. Kenya, we should think on that. And instead of giving a lot of political statements which are not very necessary for the citizens of Kenya, we should tone down and come to reasoning table and fight that we are supporting these people, not giving them handouts, because politicians, they are very fond of giving handouts in the quotes of empowerment. And at the back of your mind, you know this is not empowerment. This is not really empowerment. Yeah. Because if you go back to what you have given back to the communities, is it there? Is it sustainable? Is it supportive to itself? So we need to come out as a, in good governance, whereby the county governments and also the national government can come up with the teams that are going to mentor and empower uh, the business minded people, whether they are young generations, whether they are old people, because addition of the businesses come at different ages. Invention and innovation comes at different ages of life. Someone can have an idea when he is old, like the KFC. Another person can have an idea when he is very young, another person at the middle age. But if we have engagements all over in the worlds, all over in the villages, all over, I think it won't take long, but we find now the country is going to flourish with new ideas that are coming into physical businesses and physical economic building strategies. Therefore, my idea today is that because God has given us time to be living, why don't we think of the same? Why don't we think that each and every person can mentor someone, can liaise with someone, and let this person give you ideas of what he thinks about his life would be? Because to get an idea, you must ask the person, where do you see, where do you find yourself within 10 years? If God gives you life within 10 years or 5 years, where will you be? And when we get into those ideations, then we can be able now to know which kind of knowledge can we share with the person, which kind of information do we need to deliver to the person or to disseminate to the person, and which kind of referrals do we need to make. And when we do that, I'm sure everything will be different and our country can become part of the first world countries because it is possible. Remember, Kenyans, we are known worldwide because of our hardworking culture, because of our forgiving culture, because of our understanding culture and our social life. Therefore, this can also become a very good marketing place and a marketing strategies within our small businesses that can grow to medium age and then can also grow into what we call the mega businesses. Therefore, have a good take and remember, your idea is not useless. Your dream is achievable. You only need connection, referral, and when you have connection, referral, and then you create networks, then you can be able to pursue. Thank you and have a blessed day.